Welcome to my channel. Today I am going to discuss about the forfeiture of shares. Mainly forfeiture of shares at par. There are certain circumstances in which the shareholders fail to pay one or more installments that relating to allotment money or on call money. In such circumstances, the company can forfeit their shares, that is, they cancel the allotment and treat the amount already received thereon from as the forfeiture to the company within the framework of the provisions in its articles. There are three ways of forfeiture shares. Forfeiture shares at par. At par means at the nominal value, the real value of the shares, at premium and at discount. Now I am going to discuss about the forfeiture of shares at par. The journal entry for this is share capital account debited to share forfeiture account to share allotment account to share calls account. The share capital amount, this amount relating to the full amount of the unpaid amount of shares, full amount related to the unpaid amount of shares. Then share allotment, unpaid amount on the allotment of shares, then relating to calls, and the balance will be transferred to the share forfeiture account. Then I am going to discuss a problem relating to this one. Here the Honda Limited issued 10,000 equity shares of rupees 100 each payable as follows, that is 20 on application, 30 on allotment, 20 on first call and 30 on the second and final call. 10,000 shares are applied for and allotted. All money was due was received with the exception of both calls on 300 shares held by the superior. That is 300 shares, the amount for the 300 shares is not received by the company. These shares were forfeited. Give the necessary journal entries. Then we have to write first the name of the company, books of Honda Limited, then journal, then format of journal, date, particulars, ledger folio, debit amount and credit amount. The first entry relating to the share application amount, the amount received on the application. Then the entry will be bank account debited to share application account. The number of shares is 10,000, application amount per share is 20. So 10,000 into 20 gives the amount 2 lakhs debit and 2 lakhs credit. The narration will be application money on 10,000 shares at rupees 20 per share received. Then this application money is transferred to share capital. The entry for this is share application account debited to share capital. Amount will be same 2 lakh. Then the narration, application money transferred to share capital. Then relating to the due money on allotment, share allotment account debited to share capital. Due money means money is not yet received. Then the 10,000 shares is allotted and amount per share value is 30. So 10,000 into 30 will give 3 lakh debit and 3 lakh credit. Narration will be money due on allotment of 10,000 shares at rupees 30 per share. Then this allotment money is received, full allotment money is received, bank account debited to share allotment account, same amount 3 lakh. Then narration will be allotment money received on 10,000 shares at rupees 30 per share. Then relating to the call money due on first call, share first call account debited to share capital account. Here the total number of total number of shares is 10,000 and for call money per share is 20. So 10,000 into 20 will give the amount 2 lakhs debit and 2 lakh credit. Narration will be money due on 10,000 shares at rupees 20 per share on the first call. Then there is 300 shares money is not received. So we have to reduce this 300 from the total number of shares. That is, total number of shares is 10,000 minus 300 gives 9,700. Per share value is 20. The amount received will be, the entry for this is bank account debited to share first call account. Then 9,700 into 20 will give the amount 1,94,000 debit and 1,94,000 credit. First call money received except for 300 shares. Then relating to the second and final call, due money on the second and final call. The entry for this is share second and final call account debited to share capital. Here total number of shares is 10,000 and per share value is 30. So 10,000 into 30 will give the amount 3 lakh debit and 3 lakh credit. Narration for this is money due on 10,000 shares at rupees 30 per share on second and final call. Here in the second and final call also 300 shares money is not received. So as done in the first call, we have to reduce the 300 from the total number of shares, that will give 9,700 into per share values 30. So the amount will be 2,91,000 debit and 2,91,000 credit. The entry is bank account debited to share second and final call account. Narration is second and final call money received except for 300 shares. Then related to forfeiture of shares, the entry we have already discussed. Share capital account debited to share first call account, share first, second and final call account debited to share forfeiture account. Here in the format, it's written as share forfeiture is in the it's written in the first. That will not be a problem. There is a shuffling of this credit amounts. Here for share forfeiture is written as first. In this problem it is written as last. So it will not be a problem. You can just write it in first or second or last one. Okay. Then share first call account debited to share second and final call account to share forfeiture account. Here, as already discussed, the share capital amount will be the total amount unpaid on the shares. Then 300 shares amount is has to be got into per value share is 100. Not dividing it on the application money or allotment money as call money. The total value per share is 100 into 300 shares amount that has not been received. So 300 into 100 will give the amount 30,000. The whole amount on the unpaid unpaid amount. You share first call account, that is the unpaid amount on the share first call, that will be 300 into per share value is 20, so 6,000. Then share second and final call account, unpaid value on the share second and final call, that will be 300 into per share value is 30. So 300 into 30 will give the amount 9,000. Then the balance will be transferred to the share forfeiture account, that is 30,000 minus 6,000 plus 9,000. We have to first add the 6,000 plus 9,000. The amount will be 15,000. So 30,000 minus 15,000 will give the balance amount to be transferred to share forfeiture account, that is 15,000. That's all for today. Hope you understand. Thank you.